Trigger warning. This content is disturbing, so we encourage you to prepare yourself emotionally beforehand. If you believe that you will find the episode to be traumatizing, you may choose to not listen. Anyone affected by sexual assault, whether it happened to you or someone you care about, can find support by calling the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673 to be connected with someone over the phone who can help.
It's Tuesday, innit?
Hey everyone, it's me and Weezus.
Hey guys, what's good?
Today is actually going to be a really serious episode. So all jokes aside, you know how we are. So we're going to take you through Bill Cosby. So his career started long ago. He's a pretty old guy. So back in 1956, this is where it all started. Is he actually dropped out of high school, enlisted in the Navy. Back then, you could just like drop out and go to war. I don't know. It was crazy. Like my grandpa did, when he was in World War II. So it was way longer than that. But he just like dropped out of school and went before he was even 18. Like that's crazy, right? So he drops out, goes to the Navy, ends up getting his high school diploma through some correspondence course in the Navy, and then wins a track and field scholarship to Temple University. While he's at school there, he has to get a job, and he gets a job like telling jokes and bartending. So that's kind of how he got started. We weren't even alive or even a thought in our parents' mind at this time. My mom wasn't even born yet. So you think of it that way.
Your dad was over there with Bill Cosby though, like, hey, my dude.
Right. So like my dad and him are similar in age. So that's crazy to me. But anyways, so he goes to school. He moves to New York when he's done with school. He starts getting, he gets his first job, dude, as a comedian. And I don't know, this is kind of a coincidence because he gets a job at this place called Gaslight Cafe. Started early. And then he starts releasing like albums, right? I believe they're comedy albums because he's not a singer. But he did Bill Cosby is a Very Funny Fellow, right? Like that's released. Then he's got his 1964, I Started Out as a Child. That is where things really started out for his career, I think, is with the I Started Out as a Child comedy performance, because from there, he actually won a Grammy for that.
What?
Yeah. And then this is where 1965 through 1968, this is when he gets on TV. He's not just releasing albums anymore. He's on NBC. There's a show called I Spy. He goes on that for 2 years. And what does he do? He wins Best Actor Primetime Emmy Awards for that. 3 of them. So like he starts out with a very successful career, right?
So he's like, I know he's a comedian, but like he's a serious actor. Is that what you're telling me?
So what is it? He was he was the first African American actor to star in a dramatic television series. So that's crazy. That was a big thing for him.
See, that's wild. Because when I always think of Bill Cosby, I just think of, like I said, that one show.
I think of him being Mr. Huxtable, dude. Huxtable? Is that what it is? Now I feel like I'm not saying it is Huxtable. Yeah, it is. That's how I grew up.
Is that what he says with the pudding pops?
Yeah. Yep. That's it. So he gets Emmys for that. Then the following year in '69, he wins another Emmy Award for Outstanding Variety or Musical Program for the Bill Cosby Special. Oh,
okay.
So then he plays in a lot of other shows. Fat Albert was one of them. And it was an animated show, so he did that. Then in 1984, that's when the Cosby Show made its debut, when he played Dr. Huxtable, yeah. And this is where I knew him from. It wasn't from all his comedy stuff. I knew him from the Cosby Show. I used to play because Raven, That's So Raven.
Yeah.
She was the little girl. He
played wow.
The kid. Yeah.
Okay, bro, I'll be real with you. I never saw that show. Yeah.
So that's how I remember it, though. I wasn't a huge fan of the show because I was little, but they always had reruns. And so I would watch those all the time. That's kind of just how I knew who he was. So then let's flash forward a little bit, right? We'll go to 1997. one of Bill Cosby's sons got robbed and murdered in Los Angeles after he stopped on the highway because he was fixing a flat tire, dude.
Damn. They're like, we know who you are. Bang, bang.
Maybe, dude. Because then, a couple months later, July 1997, there's this girl named Autumn Jackson. She came forward and said that Bill Cosby, like, is her dad. And that he, you know, cheated on his wife and that she's, like, trying to extort him for money. She said, if you give me $40 million, I won't take this to the press. $40 million, dude.
What?
He obviously ends up, like, calling his lawyers and being like, yo, fix this. They ended up, like, going to court with her and stuff. She ended up going to prison because she got caught lying about it. He was not her dad. They did DNA tests and everything. And so it was, like, 2 other people were involved, but she was the biggest case. And so she ended up going to prison for, like, 26 months.
Damn.
Yeah, she might have gotten out early or something, but she did end up going.
2 years for lying, bro.
Yeah, well, because you were trying to...
was a small loan of $40 million.
Yeah, yeah, she went to prison for extortion is what happened. Because she even took the news to, I don't know, whatever. It wasn't TMZ back then, but like a place like that. And so they said, we'll give you $25,000 if you sell us this story. And so she showed him the paperwork and was like, see, if you don't do it, I'm going to tell. And he was like, tell then, dude. Like, do what you need to do. Like, dude, anyway, bro, so she goes to jail.
And any exposure is good exposure.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot more prizes and awards and shit that Bill Cosby got, which all of this will play a little bit of a role in his trial, okay? So in 1998, a year later, the guy who killed Bill Cosby's son, he actually gets convicted and sentenced to life in prison for the murder.
They caught him?
So they caught him. Yeah, so he went to prison. Later that year, Bill Cosby receives the Kennedy Center honors. They end up taking this honor back, though. A lot of these things have been, like, taken back from him because of what he's done. So they rescinded the honor back in 2018. In 2002, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2003, he got the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award at the Emmy Awards. So people loved this man. They are giving him all these awards, and he was like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me to start thinking, like, about all this because he got so much love, right? So then in 2005, this lady comes forward, and she was actually, like, the athletics director or something like that at Temple University, that college that he went to that I told you guys about. Okay. She said that Bill Cosby drugged her and fondled her back in 2004.
Damn.
Yeah. At this point, they eventually said Cosby's not going to be charged with this. There's not evidence of it. So then this lady files, like, a civil suit against Bill Cosby. They end up not going to court, but Bill Cosby did end up having to settle for this. So he did have to pay her out of court. So he had to give her $3.38 million. And then the case ended up getting dismissed in 2006. Wow. So this was just like a few months. So yeah, this was January 2005. She came forward and said,
you're telling me that I need to get groped. No, I'm just playing. It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke.
But I mean, like, the past few things we've been doing, like, we could come forward a year later and then get $3.38 million, right? And so then people are thinking, she just did it for the money. Were they wrong, brother? Were they wrong? Because it starts to get crazier and crazier, dude. So then in 2009, he was awarded the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. So after this case and all this stuff, he's still getting these awards, right? They ended up rescinding that prize as well. So they took the award back because he fucked up, dude. He fucked up bad. Then in 2013, so his career's still going strong at this point, he had a comedy special air on Comedy Central for the first time in 30 years, dude.
So he was having his comeback tour, basically.
Yeah. Then in 2014, this is where other victims started to come forward. So CNN, this is November 14th, 2014. CNN interviewed a lady, Barbara Bowman, who says that Bill Cosby assaulted her a number of times. Cosby's attorney at the time.
She was a repeating customer. No, I just
basically. So his attorney said that these are a decade old, so it's discredited. He didn't say it wasn't true. He said it's a decade old, and so it needs to be discredited. Like, this ain't right. Which is fucked,
dude,
right?
Him and R. Kelly have something in common, dude, and I'll tell you later.
Okay. So then a couple days later, another journalist tells CNN that 45 years ago, when she was a teenager, Bill Cosby assaulted her.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This dude's just like, hey, here's a pudding pop, and then just assaulted women.
Yeah. At this time, people are saying like, oh, when I was a kid, this is what happened, or back last year this happened. But to everyone looking at it from the outside, is just these sweet old little Bill Cosby, like, and that's the problem with cases like this, is like, especially being in the kind of career he was, he was a nice, strict dad on TV, and like, then just thinking that he was actually doing this stuff behind the scenes, it's crazy.
On
set. He might have, like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know. I wonder if anything did happen, but.
Right.
Anyways, so November 18th, just the next day, Janice Dickinson, who is a very famous model, if you look her up, you'll know, she did the same thing. She said that she told ET that Cosby assaulted her too. She said he raped her, is what she said.
Oh, okay. So, oh my god.
So then Bill Cosby's attorneys, they repeatedly at this point, the attorneys and Bill Cosby are saying all of this is lie about all of them. So they literally said, and I quote, they didn't say it's untrue. They said, that's a lie. That's what his attorney said. And she had just written like an autobiography at the time too. So the attorneys used that against her and said, oh, well, your story that you're telling right now about him raping you contradicts what you had written in your autobiography for this time period of your life. So you're a dumb lying liar, is basically how they treated her.
They're like, what was she wearing at the time? No, I just playing.
That's literally how they probably acted, though, to be honest.
Oh.
Like, like how, well, did she ask for it? Like, that's literally probably what they did.
Oh my god, dude, I swear.
So then the University of Massachusetts decided at this point to cut all ties with Bill Cosby. This is what they released in their statement. Bill Cosby has agreed to resign as an honorary co-chair of UMass Amherst Capital Campaign. He no longer has any affiliation with the campaign, nor does he serve in any other capacity for this university. Right?
You're telling me he had access to this college?
Yeah, and this isn't even the Temple College that he went to. This is like another thing. I don't know. This is a whole different university. I don't really know what he did for them besides I think he was just an honorary co-chair. I don't know. But so he did that. But then a couple days later, Bill Cosby also resigns from the Temple University's Board of Trustees. He had that position for 32 years and he resigned from it.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. So then you think, if this isn't true and you're not guilty, why are you freaking out, Billy? Huh? You know? That they always do this. They're like, it is so untrue, and then you catch them buying tickets out of the country, and it's like, seems a little true, if you ask me. And I'm pretty sure he's on Epstein's list too for the flight logs. So what a surprise.
Oh my
Anyways,
God. What's new? No, just
yeah, what's new? Who's not? Who's not at this point? The next day, Judy, this lady, files a lawsuit in Los Angeles saying that Bill Cosby sexually assaulted her in 1974 when she was only 15.
Damn, bro. So merciless, dude. Merciless. You don't care. Yeah.
In a pleading, she said that the claims were absolutely false and that they tried to say that she was engaging in extortion just like that other girl and that she just wanted money. And that's why she went to make these allegations public. So then
Cosby would never do this.
Yeah, that's literally what they did. And like that, it's really hard. Imagine being an attorney in a case like this too, because if you found out, like, say you are defending someone, like, it's your job, but it can be dangerous, especially if you're in a public case like this, to be someone's lawyer, right? Especially in murder and like sexual assault cases and whatnot. It's just kind of like, okay, but do they actually know the truth that this happened, or are they lying for them? I don't know.
That's that like thing where the lawyers don't give out information, right?
Yeah.
But no, I know what you're
Well, there's
saying. I know what you're
attorney-client
saying. Like, let's
privilege.
just say the client killed someone, right? And you know that, like,
Yeah.
it's right there. But you have to defend this guy, like if your life depended on it, right?
Like, how is it not breaking the law? Because if I told you I killed someone and then you didn't tell anybody, and then when I got arrested for it later was like Jesus knew the whole time, you would also go to prison.
Yeah.
How come a lawyer can know about it and then defend you and make up a lie, but then they don't get in
Well, I
trouble
guess
later?
that's why
It's crazy, right?
there's that joke that lawyer, that's why every lawyer goes to hell.
Yeah, for real. So, anyways, a couple days after Judy comes forward and they all try to make her seem crazy and gaslighted. Well, I don't know the right term for that, but it doesn't matter. The Navy revoked Bill Cosby's title of honorary chief petty officer because they were like, not today, Bill Cosby, not too fucking day. And they took it
They're
back.
like, no more banana puddings over here. No,
Yeah, literally, that's what they did. So then a couple more days later, a lady named Tamara Green came forward and she accused Bill Cosby, same thing, of sexually assaulting her in 1970. She filed a defamation lawsuit against Bill Cosby in federal court. She claiming that like he did the same thing with called her a liar, said she was fucking making it up, all this shit. So then she said, now this is a defamation suit because you're talking mad shit on me. So she was ready to fuck him up, dude.
Damn, she's like, I know the law.
But hear this. Within 1 year of her filing this, 6 other people joined in on her lawsuit.
Ooh.
And they were like, let's get him together.
They pulled a Danny Masterson, bro. They were like, we gotta join forces.
Yep. So they did. And then a couple days after this, citing the statute of limitations, this is what they always do, the district attorney's office in Los Angeles declined to charge Bill Cosby with the original lady Judy from her like 1970s sexual assault allegation that she said. This was the one I said about a couple minutes ago. She was only 15. So they said, oh, it's been too long, so no, we ain't doing anything. Which is a very long time.
It's also a long time, right? But
that is a long time.
It's also LA, dude.
Yeah.
They're gonna defend their people.
Especially people who are bringing in all this attention, it seems like. This case went on forever. So you keep in mind, we started this way back in 2005 when the first person started saying stuff. We're in 2015 now. Okay. So this lady named Linda told CNN that her and some fellow accusers are joining this a lawsuit. So this is 2 more women now that are like, we're getting him. So then Janice Dickinson, at this point, that famous model, sues him for defamation because of all the stuff he's saying about her now. So people are just coming for him, dude. So mid 2015, newly unsealed documents, dude, they come about. They reveal that Billy over here had already admitted to getting some roofies to give to women that he wanted to have sex with.
So he flat out admitted it?
Yeah. The documents were all the way back dated in like 2005. And they were from that original like civil suit. So they were sealed at the time, but they got unsealed for this case, and he did say he got some drugs so that he could drug women, dude.
God, what an animal.
So then July 25th, 2015, Spelman College, a historically black women's school in Atlanta, announces it has officially terminated a professorship endowed by Bill Cosby and his wife. So they're cutting ties, and like that's a big thing for a black women's school to be like, nope, we don't want anything from you anymore. So I mean, it's good that they did this, but they're giving up a lot to prove this point, right? So you got to know something's true. It's got to be true.
So at this point, you gotta you gotta realize something's going on, believe it or not.
December of 2015, Bill Cosby countersues the 7 women who are suing him for defamation in federal court, dude. He said
he's like, I want my 30 million.
Literally, he says that they actually like defamed him. So he was seeking like, damages from them basically, and he wanted Money is literally what he wants, because he's like, I was famous, you guys ruined my life, so now I'm coming for you.
He was like, I was supposed to come out on the remake of my show. I was supposed to do all this stuff. No,
So then a couple days later, he sues another model, her name is Beverly Johnson, for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. He said that she falsely accused him of attempted rape. Okay, well, what about all the others, Bill? Like,
he's defending with his laugh. I did not rape that woman.
Yeah,
I didn't do it. And then what about the other ones? Well.
But that's exactly like what that would make you think, because there's all these women coming after him, and then he's like, that one is a liar. Okay, what about the other 5? 6, whatever.
I don't know about that.
So then, end of 2015, this is December, he got charged in Monterey County, why can't I speak? Okay, we'll say in Pennsylvania, with 3 counts of felony aggravated incident assault in the case from that original lady from the first case in 2005. So he gets charged with stuff, right? And then in 2016, the Los Angeles County District Attorney announces that Cosby won't be charged in 2 cases again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they said,
now? What's going on?
I don't know. Like, if you read the evaluation sheets, the prosecutor said that they think neither of the allegations could have resulted in the charges because of the statute of limitations again, which that's the hard part here, is people are coming forward way too late, you know? And then
what if they thought, bro, like, Bill Cosby ain't got no money, so we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, we work with this guy. He doesn't have any money. We know he doesn't. And then all of a sudden they're like, we need that money though.
Well, then hear this, dude. The next month, February, he willingly dismisses that case against Johnson, that other model. The one that he was saying is like lying about being raped, but he just dismissed it. He voluntarily did it. Like, he makes no sense, dude. I don't know. He makes no sense to me.
He's throwing curveballs for days, right?
So here's where shit gets even worse. So let's go to May 2016. Another lawsuit is filed, and it accused Hugh Hefner and Bill Cosby of conspiring with each other in 2008 to commit sexual battery of a minor.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. The girl said that Hugh Hefner knew or should have known that Bill Cosby was known for, intoxicating and drugging young women and taking advantage of them sexually while they were unconscious. But that's just, she said he should have known. But I mean, I'm sure he did. It's Hugh Hefner, dude.
Hey, man, these people have a lot of power, I guess.
I don't know. So then, like, a week later, the criminal case against Bill Cosby in Pennsylvania is ready to go to trial, dude. It's on track. After the judge said that there is sufficient evidence now against him. So they're going to let that lady take him to court now.
They're like, okay, so then, found all the evidence. It's time to go.
So they at least have sufficient evidence now, because before, when that same lady was trying to get after him, they said, oh, there's not enough. Sorry. Bye. So then, end of the year, a judge said that Cosby's 11-year-old deposition, in which he admitted to having an affair and giving some women drugs in order to have sex with them, is admissible in his upcoming trial. So this makes no sense. Like, they really just, these famous people get away with a lot, don't they? They just take things that are like, this is what's gonna win this case, but nah, we're not gonna use it.
No, it's like we have the evidence here, and then it's like the court looking the other way. It's like, it's right here. It's like we don't see anything.
So a couple days later, as they're getting ready for this trial, they have like a little pre-trial mini hearing type of thing to determine if they can use the testimony of 13 other women who said that Bill Cosby drugged and raped them in between 1964 and 2002 can be included as evidence in the case against him.
Okay, so they can get his ass.
Yeah. So it takes forever for them to go through trials like this, which is even more frustrating. So we have to flash forward to February of the whole next year. So this is 2 months, right? A judge in Massachusetts dismissed the defamation suit against Cosby from this lady named Catherine, an actress who said she was raped by him in 1974. Yeah, another case gets
So
dismissed.
they're like, yo, don't worry, it's Bill Cosby. He can get away with it.
Then someone did an interview with him. They're like, Bill, tell us what's going on. So he goes on a Sirius XM radio channel, and he told the world that he does not plan to testify on his own behalf during this upcoming trial at all. So after 6 days and 53 hours of jury deliberations, Bill Cosby, ends the whole trial, the aggravated indecent assault case. Guess what it is? A mistrial. Because the jury, it was 7 men and 5 women. They couldn't come up to a unanimous decision. So, mistrial. They did immediately let them go and retry the case. But after all of that and all those days, I'm curious, who didn't agree? Because everyone has to be on the same page. Crazy, right?
That's wild. So you're no, it's just wild to think.
Yep. So then, at this point, Bill Cosby is still thinking that he's okay, and fine. So he actually did a performance in Philadelphia, his first stand-up event in 3 years at the time, right? And apparently it went well. I don't know. But then a month later, his daughter passed away from kidney failure, which has nothing to do with the case, but just so everybody knows, his daughter also passed away. Then
it's like he's human too. No, I just get.
I know. I don't know why I tried to humanize him right there, but I mean, his daughter did die too. His son and daughter. Remember, we talked about him earlier too. Then March 2018, a Pennsylvania judge ruled that 5 women will be allowed to testify during the new trial for allegedly assaulting the first woman in 2004. 2005 is when she came forward. Prosecutors wanted 19 accusers to take the stand, but the judge said that they can choose 5 out of that whole group. So during the first trial, the one that was the mistrial, they only allowed 1 other accuser to testify against him. This time there's 5.
They got him.
So then they picked the jury for this next trial, and it consisted of 7 men and 5 women, which I feel like is unfair. I feel like it should be equal, but it's whatever. He is convicted on all 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault for drugging and sexually assaulting her back in 2004. He was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in state prison. The following day, he didn't get actually sentenced until later that year, but he did end up getting the 3 to 10 year sentence, right? He actually went to prison in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
So then that following year, he entered Gen Pop. House by himself, though. They didn't house him with anyone else. But he did have to go into general population, which is a little scary. Not for us, but imagine doing that, right?
For him, because they knew what he did to these women, right?
Mm-hmm. Then eventually there was a settlement in that defamation case against Bill Cosby involving those 7 other women. He did not authorize the settlement, apparently, is what Bill Cosby said. It was just negotiated between the insurance company and stuff. But they did reach a settlement. And for some reason, he started to get all angry. Yeah, so I mean, the insurance was like, we'll just settle with you. This is getting out of hand, whatever. But he got all upset about it and was like, I did not agree to this. And he got upset, dude.
I don't know, dude. I think this guy's not a.
This is that same month that he gets all pissy over the settlement. He tried to challenge all kinds of things, right? There was some decision that he was mandated to pay $6.7 million in legal fees. He had already paid $4.3 million of that, which is crazy. $2 million was paid by Bill Cosby himself, and then $2.3 million was paid by that same insurance company that settled.
Oh, okay.
So so at this point he had $2.4 million left in legal fees to pay. He didn't want to. But then the legal people, so I don't know if this is just his team or if there's more, they were requesting $9 million total dollars for his bill. So isn't that crazy? But he did, when he fought it did go down to the 6.7 million, but they were asking $9 million for the case, which I feel like that's just taking advantage of people who are famous. But I mean, take it, dude. But he obviously didn't have it, right?
Yeah, right. Because if not, he wouldn't have had to pay that much. and all those fees, he would have gotten away with it.
At this point, he's poor, right? He can't afford legal fees anymore. So he decides to like withdraw his countersuits against those 7 women for the defamation stuff. And then he files an appeal for this criminal case, and he says that the trial was, it was flawed, and the reason being is because the stories that these ladies told are like too different than those of Constand, which is the lady from the first one. So he's like, they're different, like it was flawed, they made it up. This is all happening with like a month apart from each other. Janice Dickinson's attorney announced that they had finally reached a very large settlement with Bill Cosby's insurance company in her case, just the defamation case. I want to know what it was.
How much?
I don't know.
How much?
I don't know. I want to know. It doesn't say. It just says a very large amount. It might have been sealed, so I'm not sure. Sometimes it is for this kind of stuff. So then in 2019, the Los Angeles court sides with Bill Cosby's law firm, saying that, okay, well, you still have to pay all your unpaid lawyer fees, so now you owe $2.74 million with interest and stuff. So he still has to go pay, right? A couple months later, he did an interview. This is the first interview he did since he was put in prison. He said he doesn't expect to like express any remorse when it comes time for his parole, because he's like, I didn't do it, so don't expect anything from me.
Damn, bro.
Is basically what he said.
This guy don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. So then, this is where things, you guys, are like, it's gonna start getting real fucked up, because Bill Cosby is trying to fight the system. He wants out. He's down bad. He's old. He wants out of prison.
He's like, I need my pudding pops. No, I'm just kidding.
You needed something, dude. So at the end of 2020 or mid 2020, the Supreme Court said, okay, Bill Cosby is allowed to appeal 2 key issues in his 2018 conviction on sexual assault. The ruling grants Bill Cosby the ability to appeal 2 of the issues in the case. One issue focuses on prior bad act witnesses who testified about alleged assaults that were not part of the charges. And the second will focus on prior district attorney's decision not to charge him a decade ago when this all came about. So there's a lot of stuff, guys. Bill Cosby ends up getting denied parole by the parole board. Keep his ass in, right? You get excited about that for a second.
Yeah, you're like, finally.
Well, they said, well, we're denying him because he failed to like give us a good release plan, like his plan's not good enough.
What are you gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna do the same thing. No, I'm just kidding.
He was also denied because the Department of Corrections gave him like a negative recommendation. They said, nah, we don't agree. Now listen to this shit, you guys. June 30th, 2021. Bill Cosby is released from prison after the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania vacates his 2018 conviction on sexual assault charges and judgment of sentence. The court ruled in its opinion that his due process rights were violated when the Montgomery County District Attorney, Bruce Castor's decision to not prosecute him in return for his deposition in that 2005 civil case was used against him at trial. The decision cannot be appealed by prosecution in the state of Pennsylvania. So one of his 2 little things that he was able to like go on worked, dude.
He was able to get out of it, basically. Right?
Yep. Basically,
oh
yeah.
God, dude, what a monster.
Like, it makes no sense, right? But that's not the end of it, dude.
You can't keep getting away with it. No,
He can't. Like, it makes no sense. So then 2022, there's still shit going on. Los Angeles jury finds Bill Cosby liable in the civil case brought to him by Judy in 2014, a woman who claimed he sexually assaulted her as a teenager in the 70s. The jury was 8 women and 4 men this time. So it's interesting that when there's more women, the case is like swayed towards the victim, right? But when it's men, it's opposite. And they think that doesn't matter, but it does. But they gave her $500,000 in damages. So then December 30th, 2022, a woman who said she was sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby sues him for sexual battery after 5 other women sued him in early December under the New York Adult Survivors Act. The lawsuit, filed in New York Supreme Court, alleged that Stacy Pinkerton, who was sexually assaulted by Bill Cosby in 1986 when she was 21. A couple months later, 9 women who have accused Bill Cosby of sexual abuse in the past file a new lawsuit asking for a jury trial against him in Nevada this time. So the victims are going hard because they're filing it in different states, like and the laws are all different. So that, I mean, I feel like that's
They're
not a
working
bad,
around
that's
the
a
law,
good thing.
but I guess they're working around the justice system, right?
So then this was just last month, a girl named Joan, who previously had already accused Bill Cosby of sexually assaulting her in 2014, filed a lawsuit against him under a New York law that's set to expire this week. So I don't know whatever happened because the law did expire, and that was last month. So the lawsuit accused Bill Cosby of battery, assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. It says she's just seeking unspecified damages, so she wants money, is basically what happened. So now what happens to Bill Cosby next? Like, you know what I mean? Is he just going to be out of prison?
Yeah, it seems like that. It seems like he's out of prison, right?
Yeah, he's not in prison.
I wonder if he's under, like, they're keeping an eye on him.
If you look it up, the remaining cases against Cosby, there's another one pending in New Jersey brought by another girl who says she was drugged and sexually assaulted in 1990, are all civil cases. So a divided state Supreme Court determined that it did, freeing Bill Cosby from prison and barring him from being prosecuted again. So he can't be prosecuted on the same cases again now that he's out of prison. So it would have to be other people coming forward.
Wow. He got away with 60 plus women.
Yeehaw, brother.